we also had Lamar Ball got into some controversy for having an interview that he had with ESPN over in Lithuania, which he touched on a lot of subjects, like his son's playing out there, Lonzo Ball improving.
But the most important one that they focused on.
But the one that came out and became controversy was his criticism of Luke Walton and possibly saying that the Lakers might have to look for a new coach. That Luke might not be the guy for this rebuild. Now, in all fairness to Lavar Ball, he has said these comments off air. As he had said to Magic and the Lakers front office, he wouldn't say anything about the Lakers without speaking to them first. He wouldn't make any kind of headlines without engaging with them for just respect reasons, right? So he said he wouldn't speak on camera about it, but then ESPN pursued, said, would you mind just, saying what you thought about what you've seen from the Lakers in the last few games? It's like, fine. From what I've seen lately, the Lakers have had a few blowouts at home, and to me, when a team gets blowed out at home, that looks directly bad on the coach. Because the coach is not coaching them up to compete, at least at home. And it got taken out of place, and it got taken to where it said that he felt that Luke Walton isn't the right coach for the Lakers right now and isn't the right coach for his son. And somehow that trickled to, they asked Lonzo Ball, do you think your father should be talking about your coach that way? And Lonzo saying, well, I could play for any coach. I play for whatever my coach is. My job is to try to win games. That became, Lonzo's not even defending his coach. Lonzo's letting his father say whatever he wants about his coach. Maybe Lonzo wants Luke Walton to be fired. It's like, wow. When Lavar clearly said that this has nothing to do with Lonzo, this is just what I saw in the coach.
He's legit just being
a dad.
I don't know why it's so different when any other parent speaks, but when he speaks, just a regular dad. Like, what dad has not said my kid ain't playing enough minutes, or this coach gotta go, or this and that, or etc. 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 But this is the only one that gets showcased a lot because their son is really talented and they don't like it.
I think they just don't like that he's bold about it. He's doing the Kanye West, like, I'm going to be great, and then when you start to have good albums, it's like, we'll slow down, all right? Like, we'll give you your credit in our do-right. We'll give you your credit.
You're good.
All right?
You're good.
So when Lavar said, like, my boy Lonzo could be just as good as on the Warriors right now with Steph Curry, that started the controversy. It was like, who the hell is this guy talking up your son at UCLA? And then you're saying that your son's definitely going to the Lakers? Who are you to make this decision? Like, the Lakers is a prize franchise. Who are you to say your son deserves to be drafted by them?
And guess who gets drafted?
So now that it's come to fruition and Lonzo is that good, we don't want to give you... It's almost like Donald Trump said for months, I'm going to become president, you guys are going to let me become president, and then I'm going to make Mexico build the wall. And it's like, no, that's not going to happen. No, you sound ridiculous. Then when it happens, now you don't want to give him his credit. Because, like, he said that. And you couldn't believe what he said because it was so outrageous. And now that it happens, you want to give him their credit in your due time.
No, not only that, they said what they were going to do and didn't change who they were.
Correct. They didn't adjust.
They didn't adjust nothing. Yeah. They said what they were going to do and in the same exact way they've been doing everything. And they did it exactly how they did it. Yeah. And you get mad. You can't get mad.
Yeah.
If someone has a set dream and follows through.
Correct. And I mean, so shout out to Lonzo Ball. Like, a lot of people said he was struggling. He can't shoot. He can't score more than 10 points. Well, that was never what he did in college either. That's not what makes him special. He's a special overall player. He's like Magic Johnson in that respect. Bob Cousy, where it's like they're able to make everybody around them better, and that in itself is what makes him special. Not the fact that he's not Jason Tatum. He's not, Markelle Fultz, whose talent is to put the ball in the basket.
His talent is to make the team better.
Correct. And the same way to go with Frank Ntilikina. His talent was always defense. Defense is what makes him special. So the fact that he's one of the best in deflections and steals, that's what he's great at. The fact that Lonzo averages already top 10 in assists, top 10 in rebounds, top 10 in defensive rating, that's because that's what makes him special.
This is what he got drafted to do.
It's not buckets. Jeez. The fact that Jason Tatum is top 10 in three-point percentage and is one of the top scoring rookies, well, yeah.
Well, there's a reason why they picked. There's a reason why they picked up Caldwell Pope. There's a reason why they have Randall. Yeah. There's a reason why they picked up Kuzma.
Yeah.
These are the scorers.
Yeah. Like, Kuzma's a finisher.
Like, Lonzo Ball was legit came in there for the exact reason to set up that offense, set up that team.
And look at when he plays and look when they don't.
Yeah.
Then they lose, 6 straight without him? He came back. They win 2 straight. Well, they lost the first one, and he won 2 straight, and then he's out again. And then they've lost 2 straight games since he's been out. So it's clear.
If you want to think about anything, say that, hey, you can't stay healthy.
That's true.
How about just say that?
That's
But you have to talk about his talent. There's nothing wrong with his talent.
Here's what I think is actually, I don't think people are realizing that. I think Magic Johnson is being very slick. On the low, I think Magic Johnson is being extremely slick.
Why would you want to get your pride players hurt?
No, not even that. It's not even about Lonzo being hurt. It's about the draft. Now, the 2018 NBA draft is going to be one of the best drafts in the last 10 to 15 years. The talent that they have coming out. Ayton out of Arizona, who looks like he's going to be the next Hakeem Olajuwon. He looks like he might be a better prospect than Joel Embiid coming out of college. You have Mohamed Bama, who looks like an absolute freak of nature. That might be Ralph Sampson coming again.
Mohamed Bama could slap your mama while she's sitting in the stands.
Correct.
That man's arms.
And you still have the kid Luka Doncic coming out of international ranks. You still have Marvin Bagley that seems like he might be a freak of nature. So now, what I'm saying is the Lakers now, if they don't have a top 5 pick, the pick goes to, I believe, the Nets. Oh, no, Boston. If it's not top 5, it goes to Boston. So with that being said, if let's say the Lakers do make it to 11th place, they're not making the playoffs. So let's say they do well with Lonzo and they start to make high and they make it 11th place. That pick goes to Boston. They're rebuilding. What do they need the most?
Big man.
So now that you see that they're actually winning games with Lonzo, what makes sense? Hold Lonzo out.
Hold Lonzo, because you're not going to stop them from winning.
No. And then they keep winning. They're not making the playoffs, but they will keep winning games.
So are you pretty much projecting that in the next couple, we're going to start seeing some healthy scratches on this
It's
issue?
already happened. The fact that he missed 6 games and they said that he should be day to day, and now you missed 6 games, they're holding you out. Yeah. And now all of a sudden he came back and he said, like, I feel fine, I can play. And now they're holding him out 2 more games. We're being extra cautious.
Oh, yeah.
That's, again, for Lonzo Ball's a point guard. You want him to get as much minutes to develop his leadership and make mistakes. Because as a point guard, you're going to make mistakes.
So pretty much
the fact that they're holding him out as a point guard and not letting him play, they're showing that they're trying to protect that draft pick. So that's what's going on there.
Towards the end of the season, he's probably not going to play at all.
No, end of the season, I think he will. I think right now is when you're going to see that. At the end of the year, when they basically secured a top 5 pick.
So then they want to watch.
They don't let Lonzo go out and play.
We'll still see. That'd be interesting to see.
They're still going to lose games. There's still those teams like OKC, Minnesota,
but they gonna compete.
Golden State that they can't beat. And especially at the end of the year when those teams are actually ready to go, and they will not be able to win.
And when those teams need to secure their spots?
Exactly. That's when you see Lonzo out there. But right now, when a lot of these games might just be winnable games, keep him out the game. Because you're going to lose that pick to Boston.
That's a fact.
And of course, we know Magic Johnson, his rival to this death, will be the Boston Celtics.
Always. That would definitely be.
But to the other notion about with the Lamar, the comments he actually made, let's not get him mistaken. Like, the Lakers have one of the worst records in the league, and at one point had the worst record in the league. That directly looks at the coach. Directly. Like, any coach, if you have the worst record in the league, it's going to be questioned. Anyone. And the fact that it's the second year, and last year they had a horrible
back-to-back years of bad records.
It has to be questioned. So that in itself should be questioned. The fact that it's coming from Lavar Ball, I don't understand why we are saying, like, oh, the messenger we're going to question. What's the message? If the message is like, well, let's look at this coach and let's see whether or not he's doing a good job. Well, let's do that first before we now go back to now. If he said, no, he's doing a good job, then we go back to the messenger like, what the hell are you talking about? Why are we listening to you? So now when the other coaches come out, like Rick Carlisle, let's say, we have to stop letting microphones get put in this guy's mouth, or we have to stop letting him get to speak. Like, fam.
First off, worry about your team that's doing just as horrible.
How's Dennis Smith doing?
You know?
How is the one that you threw so much money at to get from Golden State, Harrison Barnes, doing? You're supposed to be an offensive guru. Why hasn't Harrison Barnes had a great offensive game? We knew where he was coming from Golden State. Why haven't you took him to the next level? If you're supposed to be a great offensive coach, right?
Hey, well, how about you worry about your team's 10-game losing streak and not worry about another man making a comment about the team his kid plays in? We have had him speaking about it. Steve Kerr speaking about it. I just feel like you have your own team. Like Isaiah Thomas said it. You have your own team. Stay in your own lane. Worry about your team's record. Don't worry about what a parent is speaking about NBA.
Isaiah made a great point when he said that. And then I've heard Rich recently, at some point the Lakers going to realize that the distraction is too big. There is no such thing as a distraction when you're talking about a parent. Like, this is not the first parent that had commentary about their child.
Or he will not be the last.
Not to mention, like, Magic Johnson is the president there. Like, he's as big as a star as ever been seen. Like, he made headlines for going out to nightclubs. He understands that distraction thing better than anybody could. Remember when Kobe Bryant had the whole rape situation? Who was helping him during that time? Magic Johnson. Come on now, let's not get into this whole they're gonna trade Lonzo. They're not gonna trade Lonzo Ball. Lonzo's once in a generation, a 6'7" pass first point guard that actually can rebound and play defense. They're not trading Lonzo Ball. Like, you know how many teams will line up to get access to Lonzo, regardless of what his father got to say?
They want him to trade Lonzo Ball just so they can have more.
I think Rick Carlisle would love to have,
of course,
Lonzo's problem with Lavar on his head.
He just have some nerve when you have the same amount of wins with the Lakers, and you're talking about that he's making a distraction.
And this idea that we have to find a way to stop it. First of all, what is he saying? His comments are no different than, say, Stephen A. Smith having his own commentary.
Honestly, the only power to his words is the power that you're giving it.
Correct.
So if y'all focusing so much on what he's saying, y'all the only one giving the power to it. He's just talking the same smack he's been talking since LeVar Ball showed up in the scene.
Correct. So, I mean,
he's been talking this when his kids was in college.
Correct.
When his kids was in Chino Hills.
So I wanted to ask Steve Alford, how did it work with UCLA last year? They still had a great run. They still had a great season. I don't hear Steve Alford complaining about, because he still let his son get on the team right after that, knowing this is what LeVar does. So, like, if Steve Alford, a head coach at college, can deal with it just fine, I think Luke Walton, who's been in the NBA for a long time, whose father has just as big a mouth, can do just fine.
He'll be alright. He'll be alright. That's just sad.
And that's the NBA talk for this week.